And Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled The Importance of Storehouses. Lord will, you are edified. Genesis 41:15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you that you can understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. The Most High shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood on the bank of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat flesh and well favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill favored, and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill favored, as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. The Most High has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh, what the Most High is about to do. He showed unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by the Most High, and the Most High shall shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store, hence storehouses, to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of the Most High is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, For as much as the Most High has showed you all this, There is none so discreet and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and according unto your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. So, of course, Pharaoh did what Joseph instructed him to do. Genesis 41:53. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the dearth, which is a famine, was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread, and this is what made Egypt great, because of this dearth. And therefore Joseph instructed Pharaoh, all right, to have storehouses, all right, to be a safe haven against the dearth, all right. And this was the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Verse 55, and when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph. What he say to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. And Egypt thrived because during the dearth, right, their storehouses were full. And Pharaoh would have not known this unless for the prophet Joseph, who was an Israelite. Source, Natural News. Article entitled Collapse Accelerating. World's biggest energy traders warn that gas stations will run dry of diesel. Published March 24th, 2022. Gas prices are out of control, but the situation with one specific type of gas, diesel, is perhaps most concerning due to the serious implications of it running dry. Focal point. Diesel shortages are a global problem, not just a European problem. About 15% of Europe's diesel comes from Russia, according to the FT. This poses serious problems for European supplies as the U.S. and its North Atlantic Treaty Organization allies continue their crusade against Vladimir Putin. Refineries could boost their diesel output in response to higher prices, but this would come at the expense of other oil-derived products. Rationing, Hardy said, is still a strong possibility. Diesel is not just a European problem, noted Torbjörn Turnquist, co-founder and chair of the Geneva-headquartered Gunvor Group. This is a global problem, it really is. European gas markets are no longer functioning properly, he added, as traders face huge demands from banks for cash to cover their hedging problems. Numerous other CEOs expressed similar sentiments about gas stations running dry of diesel, which is when all hell will really break loose for the global economy, which relies on diesel for just in time delivery of consumer goods. Needless to say, without diesel, not only will traffic in Europe grind to a halt, but much, if not all, U.S. truck based logistical support and supply chains will soon be paralyzed. Zero Hedge warned the consequences for the global economy will be dire. And according to the second source, www.ntbtrk.com, it states if trucks were stopped for a few days, service stations would completely run out of fuel. ATMs would run out of cash and banks would be unable to process transactions. Supplies of essential food and water would disappear and garbage would start piling up in urban and suburban areas. All right. And I brought these points out from these two sources. Without diesel, okay, which is a fuel that trucks need to run to and fro throughout the United States, right? Storehouses will be empty. And if the diesel, okay, cannot be attained by the truck drivers, what's going to happen? Famine slash dearth, lack of food, right? We witness an account of what Egypt went through during the dearth. However, the storehouses was full in ancient Egypt. But now in modern Egypt, which is America, that dirt is coming back. And guess what? These storehouses this time will be empty. Okay? Only the elect will be protected and have that spiritual hedge around them. Job 5 and 22. At destruction and famine you shall laugh. This shows how Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah will protect the elect. See, the elect will eat. That doesn't mean that the elect will not go through hard times. However, they will always be covered. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, neither shall you be afraid of the beasts of the earth. And this is literal, with a spiritual perspective. Second Ezra 6 and 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Right. Places like Walmart, places like Kroger, all right, Costco's, all right. It's going to come to an appointed time where the shelves will become empty in these storehouses and they're going to stay empty. Okay, this is part of prophecy, and we know it will happen. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right. And truck drivers not having diesel fulfills this prophecy as well. Okay, which will bring on a dearth in the United States. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, the book referring to the Holy Bible, and read. We must read. No one of these shall fail, meaning prophecies. And prophecy means what? To say before. All right. None shall want her mate. The scriptures is all we need. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it has gathered them. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And within prophecy, all right, we understand the concept of dearths and famines. Okay. Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure you the time diligently in itself. And we do this by basically looking at current events and see how these current events line up with the scriptures, right? And when you see part of the signs past, which I have told you before, then shall you understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we understand that the return of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, is fast approaching, right? Matthew 24:3. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, right? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right. So the day of Yahushua is coming, and every day brings us closer to the kingdom of heaven. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.